Welcome back to the channel. Today's video could completely change the way you look at the coins hiding in your pocket. Do not spend these coins. Some old wheat pennies that look dirty, worn out, or completely ordinary are actually hidden treasure coins worth serious money, and people are unknowingly spending them every single day. Secret collectors are fighting over these silent fortunes, while most people never even take a second look. Today, we're counting down the top 7 most valuable ultra-rare wheat pennies, and I promise you every next coin gets rarer, more shocking, and worth even bigger money than the last. This is not fiction. These old coins could be life-changing opportunities hiding in plain sight. Stay with me until the very end, because the final coin caused real auction shock, and nobody talks about why it is so special. Now, check your pocket, grab your old pennies, and let's begin before another hidden fortune disappears forever. First up, the first coin on today's countdown may look like nothing more than a dirty old wheat penny, but that ordinary appearance is exactly what makes it so dangerous to ignore. If you ever come across a 1919 wheat penny without a mint mark, stop immediately and take a closer look, because this detail changes everything. Do not spend this coin. After the United States emerged from World War I, 1919 was a year filled with economic adjustment, changing industries, and enormous pressure on the nation's mints as they worked to meet the country's demand for coinage during a time of transition. That intense production created coins with subtle characteristics that collectors study obsessively today. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the front proudly displays Abraham Lincoln's portrait, while the reverse carries the iconic wheat ears that have become one of America's most recognizable coin designs. Struck in a bronze alloy, primarily made of copper with small amounts of tin and zinc, the coin has a solid, classic feel in the hand, weighing about 3.11 grams. Measuring 19.05 millimeters across, with a thickness of approximately 1.55 millimeters. Even after more than a century, that unmistakable presence makes genuine examples instantly recognizable to experienced collectors. Now here is where the excitement truly begins. A 1919 example with no mint mark, especially one showing its original brown and black toning, darker edges on the reverse, and honest circulation, tells a story that cannot be recreated. Many people mistakenly clean old coins, believing they are making them more attractive, but in reality, they destroy the natural surface collectors are searching for. Never clean this coin. Original toning is one of the biggest reasons experienced buyers compete aggressively when an untouched example appears. Every tiny mark, every natural layer of color, and every untouched detail helps prove authenticity and originality. Collectors pay extraordinary attention to the absence of a mint mark, the sharpness of Lincoln's portrait, the wheat lines on the reverse, the rim strength, and whether the coin has survived decades without harsh cleaning. Professional grading is absolutely critical because it confirms authenticity and protects the coin's true value. Today, examples like the one described have reached an incredible market value of around $286,000, turning what looks like an ordinary dirty penny into hidden wealth, a silent fortune, and a life-changing opportunity. This is why collectors often hold these coins for years instead of selling them, while demand continues to rise and available examples become harder to find. Stay till the end, because what comes next is even bigger, even rarer, and the next wheat penny has a secret that makes collectors fight even harder whenever one appears. Next up, at first glance, this next coin looks like the kind of old penny people toss into a jar without a second thought. But don't let that worn appearance fool you, because this is exactly the kind of hidden treasure that disappears from circulation every single day. If you ever find a 1928 wheat penny with no mint mark, you need to stop immediately and inspect it carefully. Do not spend this coin. This is not fiction, and this detail changes everything. As America moved through the late 1920s, the nation was experiencing rapid economic expansion just before one of the biggest financial turning points in history. The U.S. Mint was producing millions of coins to keep commerce moving, yet only a tiny number survived the decades with their original character still intact. That is why serious collectors become incredibly excited whenever an authentic example surfaces. The famous wheat penny design by Victor David Brenner was already an American classic. By 1928, Abraham Lincoln's portrait dominates the front with timeless elegance, while the reverse displays the two wheat ears that symbolize the nation's agricultural strength. Struck in a bronze alloy, made primarily of copper, with small amounts of tin and zinc, this coin carries a solid, unmistakable feel in your hand. It weighs approximately 3.11 grams, measures 19.05 millimeters in diameter, and has a thickness of about 1.55 millimeters. Even after nearly a century, collectors love the way these original coins feel because they carry genuine history that cannot be recreated. Now pay close attention to the coin described here. A 1928 wheat penny without a mint mark, showing a natural brown layer, grey dots across the reverse, a small green spot from decades of aging, an honest old circulation, is exactly the kind of survivor advanced collectors search for. Those natural colors are not flaws, they are part of the coin's story. Never clean this coin. The moment someone scrubs away that original toning or removes the antique surface, a large part of its collector appeal disappears forever. Original surfaces matter far more than artificial shine. Experienced buyers carefully inspect the missing mint mark, the sharpness of Lincoln's portrait, the wheat stalk details, the lettering, the rim, and the untouched aging that proves the coin has remained authentic through generations. Quiet auction rooms can suddenly explode into aggressive bidding when a professionally graded original example appears because collectors know these opportunities are becoming increasingly rare. Today, this remarkable wheat penny has reached an estimated market value of $270,000, transforming what looks like an ordinary old cent into hidden wealth, silent fortune, and life-changing serious money. Patience is golden. Have the coin professionally graded before making any decision, because authentication can make all the difference. Stay till the end, because the next wheat penny is even more shocking, even harder to find, and its secret has left seasoned collectors battling to own just a single example. Next up, the third coin on today's countdown is one that countless people have unknowingly spent over the years, never realizing they were letting a hidden fortune slip through their fingers. If you discover a 1934 wheat penny with no mint mark, don't ignore it for a second, because this coin could completely change your expectations of what an old penny is worth. Do not spend this coin. Stay till the end, because this is not fiction, and one tiny detail can separate an ordinary-looking cent from a collector's dream. During 1934, the United States was still struggling through the effects of the Great Depression. Families were saving every penny they could. Coins circulated heavily from hand to hand, and the mint worked through a period of economic recovery that gave these coins a remarkable place in American history. Very few examples survived the decades with untouched originality, making authentic pieces far more desirable today. The classic wheat penny design by Victor David Brenner remained one of the most recognizable coin designs in America. Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the front represented hope during difficult times, while the wheat ears on the reverse symbolized the nation's strength and resilience. Struck from a bronze alloy made primarily of copper with small amounts of tin and zinc, this penny has the solid, unmistakable feel collectors expect from an early Lincoln cent. It weighs approximately 3.11 grams, measures 19.05 millimeters across, and is about 1.55 millimeters thick. Those familiar dimensions may seem ordinary, but experienced collectors know the real story is hidden in the smallest details. A 1934 example without a mint mark, showing natural black spotting on the surface, grey dots on the reverse, and honest circulated wear, carries the kind of untouched character that cannot be recreated. Those marks are part of the coin's lifetime journey and often prove that the surfaces remain original. Never clean this coin. Cleaning removes the natural toning and antique appearance that serious buyers value most, and once that originality is gone, it can never be restored. Collectors carefully inspect the missing mint mark, the sharpness of Lincoln's profile, the wheat stalk lines, the lettering, rim integrity, and the untouched surfaces that have aged naturally over many decades. This detail changes everything because professionally graded examples with original toning are becoming increasingly difficult to find. Auction rooms often remain quiet until one of these authentic survivors appears, and then determined collectors begin bidding aggressively, knowing that supply continues to shrink while demand keeps climbing. Today, a rare example matching these characteristics has reached an estimated market value of $255,000, turning what appears to be an ordinary circulated penny into hidden wealth, a silent fortune, and potentially life-changing money. Before making any decision, have the coin professionally graded, protect its original condition, and be patient because the right buyer understands its true importance. But don't go anywhere yet, because the next wheat penny on this countdown is even rarer, even more mysterious, and features a secret that has collectors searching through old penny jars every single day. Next up, the fourth coin is one that many people would never think twice about, and that is exactly why hidden fortunes continue to disappear every day. If you ever spot a 1935 wheat penny with an S mint mark, your heart should skip a beat, because this is one of those old coins that collectors quietly hope to discover before anyone else does. Do not spend this coin. What you're about to hear is not fiction. This detail changes everything. During 1935, America was still recovering from the Great Depression. The economy was slowly rebuilding. Businesses were finding their footing again, and millions of coins entered circulation during a period when people depended on every cent they owned. Most of these pennies worked hard in everyday commerce, becoming worn, damaged, or eventually disappearing forever. That is exactly why surviving original examples are becoming increasingly difficult to find today. The famous wheat penny, designed by Victor David Brenner, carries one of the most iconic designs in American coin history. Abraham Lincoln's portrait appears proudly on the front, while the reverse features the classic twin wheat ears that gave the series its legendary nickname. Struck in a bronze alloy consisting primarily of copper with small amounts of tin and zinc, this coin has a familiar yet solid feel that experienced collectors instantly recognize. It weighs approximately 3.11 grams, measures 19.05 millimeters in diameter, and has a thickness of about 1.55 millimeters. Those measurements remained consistent, but what truly separates this coin is its originality. A 1935 wheat penny bearing the S mint mark, showing a natural dark brown layer and an almost fine condition, tells a story of nearly a century of survival. The warm antique color is exactly the kind of untouched surface that serious collectors admire because it reflects genuine age instead of artificial polishing. This is why experts always warn, never clean this coin. Cleaning strips away the original toning that proves authenticity and dramatically reduces collector interest. The tiny S mint mark beneath the date becomes one of the first things specialists examine, followed by the sharpness of Lincoln's portrait, the wheat stalk details, the lettering, the rims, and the natural texture created by decades of careful aging. Professional grading is absolutely critical because even small differences in originality and preservation can make an enormous impact. When one of these authentic survivors reaches a major auction, bidding often starts quietly before determined collectors compete aggressively, knowing opportunities like this become scarcer every year. Many buyers refuse to sell once they own one, which continues to shrink the available supply while demand keeps rising. Today, an exceptional example matching these characteristics has achieved an estimated market value of $250,000, transforming what appears to be an ordinary old penny into hidden wealth, a silent fortune, and potentially life-changing money. So if you ever find one, protect it carefully, leave the original surface untouched, and have it professionally graded before making any decision. But don't relax yet, because the next wheat penny on this countdown is even more unbelievable, with a rare feature that has shocked auction rooms and left collectors searching through old coin collections with renewed excitement. Next up, the fifth coin may be the one that surprises you the most, because thousands of people have seen similar-looking pennies without realizing one small detail could separate an ordinary coin from a hidden fortune. If you ever come across a 1943 wheat penny with an S mint mark, don't walk away and do not spend this coin. Stay till the end, because this is not fiction, and what you're about to hear has shocked collectors for years. The year 1943 was one of the most important years in American history, as World War II placed enormous pressure on the country's economy and manufacturing. Every resource mattered, and the U.S. Mint had to adapt to wartime conditions while continuing to produce coins for everyday use. That extraordinary period makes 1943 pennies some of the most talked-about coins in American numismatics, and collectors still study them with incredible attention today. The wheat penny, created by Victor David Brenner, features Abraham Lincoln on the front and the famous twin wheat ears on the reverse, a design that became an American classic. The coin has the familiar size and feel collectors know so well, weighing approximately 3.11 grams, measuring 19.05 millimeters in diameter and about 1.55 millimeters thick. A genuine 1943 wheat penny with an S mint mark, showing natural grey dots and an attractive, very fine appearance with original surfaces, immediately catches the attention of experienced collectors. They carefully examine every detail, including the mint mark, the lettering, Lincoln's portrait, the wheat ears, and the untouched antique character that only decades of natural aging can create. Those subtle grey marks are often part of the coin's authentic history and should never be mistaken for something that needs to be polished away. That is why experts repeatedly give the same warning. Never clean this coin. Once the original toning and surface are removed, a significant part of the collector appeal can disappear forever. Originality is everything, and professional grading is critical because it confirms authenticity, preservation, and market confidence. This detail changes everything. At major auctions, truly original examples often attract quiet but determined bidding, with experienced collectors competing because they know these coins become harder to locate every year. Many choose to hold them for the long term rather than sell, creating even greater demand as the available supply continues to shrink. Today, a rare example matching these characteristics has reached an estimated market value of $230,000, transforming what appears to be an ordinary old wheat penny into hidden wealth, a silent fortune, and potentially life-changing serious money. Before making any decision, protect the coin exactly as you found it. Avoid touching the surfaces unnecessarily and have it professionally graded. But don't go anywhere, because the next wheat penny is even more unbelievable, featuring a rare characteristic that has left collectors scrambling to search every old coin collection before someone else finds it first. Next up, now we're entering the part of the countdown where even experienced collectors start paying closer attention. The 1944 wheat penny with no mint mark may look like just another old circulated cent, but overlooking it could mean walking away from a hidden treasure. Do not spend this coin. This is not fiction, and what makes this coin special is something many people never notice. The year 1944 was a major turning point for the United States during World War II. As the nation continued supporting the war effort, the U.S. Mint adjusted its coin production after the unusual changes of the previous year. Those wartime conditions created lasting interest in 1944 wheat pennies, and collectors still examine them carefully because small details can make all the difference. Stay till the end, because what comes next is even bigger, and this detail changes everything. The iconic wheat penny, designed by Victor David Brenner, features Abraham Lincoln on the front and the classic twin wheat ears on the reverse, a design admired by generations of collectors. Struck in a bronze alloy made primarily of copper with small amounts of tin and zinc, the coin has the familiar solid feel that defines the early Lincoln cent series. It weighs approximately 3.11 grams, measures 19.05 millimeters across, and has a thickness of about 1.55 millimeters. A genuine 1944 example without a mint mark, displaying natural black and green spots with an attractive fine condition, tells the story of decades spent in circulation while preserving its original character. Those natural color changes are often the result of long-term aging and oxidation, and many advanced collectors actually appreciate them because they help demonstrate that the coin has not been artificially altered. That is why one rule should never be ignored: never clean this coin. Removing the original toning or attempting to polish away those natural black and green spots can permanently reduce its collector appeal. Original surfaces matter, and professional grading is critical because experts carefully evaluate the coin's authenticity, preservation, mint mark status, rim quality, lettering, Lincoln's portrait, wheat ear details, and natural color. Quiet auction rooms can suddenly become highly competitive when an original survivor appears because experienced buyers understand that untouched examples continue to disappear into long-term collections. Many collectors hold these coins instead of selling them, making supply smaller while demand steadily grows. Today, a rare example matching these characteristics has achieved an estimated market value of $225,500, transforming what seems like an ordinary old wheat penny into hidden wealth, a silent fortune, and a potentially life-changing discovery. If you ever find one, leave it exactly as it is, handle it carefully, and have it professionally graded before making any decision. But don't leave yet, because the final wheat penny on this countdown is the rarest surprise of them all, and its incredible story has stunned collectors and auction rooms alike. Next up, we've reached the final coin on today's countdown, and if you've stayed with me this far, This one may completely change the way you look at every old penny you own. A 1955 wheat penny with no mint mark can look worn, dirty, and completely ordinary, but that's exactly why so many hidden treasures have been accidentally spent over the years. Do not spend this coin. This is not fiction. What you're about to hear is why serious collectors never ignore a 1955 wheat penny until they've examined every tiny detail. In 1955, America was experiencing rapid economic growth after the post-war years, and the U.S. Mint was producing enormous numbers of coins to keep up with expanding commerce. Even with high production, very few coins survived decades of circulation with their original surfaces still intact, making naturally preserved examples increasingly desirable today. The wheat penny, designed by Victor David Brenner, continued to display Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the front with the famous wheat ears on the reverse, creating one of the most recognizable designs in American coin history. Struck in a bronze alloy made primarily of copper with small amounts of tin and zinc, the coin has the familiar solid feel collectors expect from a classic Lincoln cent. It weighs approximately 3.11 grams, measures 19.05 millimeters in diameter, and has a thickness of about 1.55 millimeters. A 1955 example without a mint mark, showing natural gray spots, brown dots, a green spot on the reverse, a rich brown layer, an honest old circulation carries exactly the kind of original character advanced collectors look for. Those natural colors developed over decades and often provide evidence that the coin has remained untouched rather than being polished or chemically altered. This detail changes everything because originality is one of the first things experienced buyers notice. That is why every collector repeats the same warning: never clean this coin. Once the original toning is removed, much of the coin's collector appeal can disappear forever. Professional grading is critical because experts examine the missing mint mark, Lincoln's portrait, the wheat ears, rim quality, lettering, surface preservation, and natural aging before determining authenticity and condition. Quiet auction rooms have turned into fierce bidding battles when outstanding original examples appear because serious collectors know these coins become more difficult to locate with every passing year. Many choose to keep them in private collections, reducing the available supply while demand continues to grow. Today, a rare example matching these characteristics has reached an estimated market value of $199,000, transforming what looks like an ordinary old wheat penny into hidden wealth, a silent fortune, and potentially life-changing serious money. If you ever find one, leave it exactly as you found it. Avoid unnecessary handling and have it professionally graded before making any decision. And if this countdown made you check your own coin jar, remember this: the next hidden treasure could already be sitting in your pocket, waiting to be discovered before someone else spends it forever.